Good afternoon. Am I audible? So let's wait for some time for everyone to join. Meanwhile, I will share my screen so you can start taking notes. So we talked about Bayesian networks in last lecture. And we also discussed one example. We say that in Bayesian network, we model joint probability of random variables. And usually, this relation of random variables is described with dependency graph. So what you are looking at right now on your screen is an example of dependency graph where there are five random variables: burglary, earth, alarm, John call, and Mary call. So there are 12 random variables. So we are modeling our world with this five random variables, and by the names given, we will be able to see the kind of system we are trying to develop. So we are trying to develop an alarm system for burglary and earthquake. So in case burglary or earthquake happens in your home or society, an alarm will go off. And when the alarm goes off, there are two people who are assigned to do a job of making calls, John and Mary. So if alarm goes off, John calls and or Mary calls. Right? So this is our system, this is our world. Now we want to model this to the Bayesian network and probability. So this burglary and earthquake are two dependent random events. We all would agree to this. There is connection or dependence between burglary and earthquake, and they can occur at any time with different probabilities. So the probability of burglary to happen is 0.001, and probability of earthquake to occur is probability 0.002. And in case of any event occurs, alarm may go off with the probability. The probability. So it's our probability table that we are looking at. This one, where B and E has happened or not happened based on this T, true, true, false, true, false, false. And given the occurrence of B and E, we assign some probability to A. So probability of some to B, given that both burglary and earthquake have occurred, is very high. That is 0.95. Given that burglary has happened, but earthquake has not happened, the probability of happening is 0.94. Similarly, probability of alarm, given that burglary has not happened, but earthquake has happened, is 0.29. And neither burglary nor earthquake has happened, but alarm is with a probability of 0.001. So there is kind of margin of error that we add in our system, that sometimes alarm occurs by mistake. This point. So 1 out of 1,000 occurrences can be wrong, or can be when there is no burglary or earthquake. Now when alarm rings, calls and Mary calls with different probability. If alarm rings, that is true, would probability of 9. So means that out of every 10 times that alarm has run, John would call 9 of those times. And similarly, Mary would call with a probability of 70. So she means 10 out of every 10 alarms. And John calls, when there is no alarm, John calls with 0.05 probability. There is mistake on John's side. Similarly, Mary might call with a probability of 0.01. So John makes more calls or more calls more accurately when alarm rings, but at the same time John makes more mistakes also. It makes more false calls also. On the contrary, Mary calls with less accuracy, but she also makes less false calls. So this is our world. It is where the John or Mary would call in case of or earthquake. Is the situation clear? Okay. So this kind of networks are called Bayesian networks in general. Most specifically, we also call them Bayesian belief network, because this is what belief about the world. And everything starts with belief. For example, and you learn, and then you make new actions, new decisions, and new beliefs may be developed. So this is for Bayesian belief network. We believe that the system five members shown as a dependency graph. One depends on burglary and earthquake, and John Coase and Mary Post depends on alarm. And occurrence of this random event is discussed by the corresponding conditional probability table. So this is world of belief network of five random variables B, E, A, J, and M. So B for burglary, E for earthquake, A for alarm, J for John Paul, and M for Mary Paul. And how do we model the joint probabilities? It is modeled as per the formula written in blue. This is of J given A. This is John depends on alarm. So J given A, N given A, Mary Paul depends on alarm. So N given A into probability of A given B, the alarm given burglary or earthquake. So probability of A given B, I. Probability of burglary and probability of earthquake. So this distribution can be modeled, calculated using this conditional table as per line of the network. Now I said earlier, if you don't make any assumption on dependency, it is all five random variables depend upon each other. It is a two calculus kind of probability. And usually this is not a real life scenario also. In real life, model the dependency. So by modeling the dependency, that's the calculation of this joint probability of B, E, A, J, and M. And this is what we have done here. I will not repeat the story which we have discussed last time, but I will wait for you for a minute or two, and please ask me if you have any on this. Like, why did we write this formula? Or why we model this kind of dependence? Or why are the problems for you? Whatever questions you have in your mind, please ask me. We will clarify it, and then we will move on with the calculation. Okay, so Keval is asking, can you explain how this formula is made? Okay. Yes, we'll talk about that. But I would like to see if anyone else can answer. Can anyone answer Keval's question? Harsh says that by following the arrow. Okay. So, Keval, as I said, there are five random variables B, E, A, J, M. So let us take a scenario where there is no graph. We do not have any graph to watch, and we want to write this formula. Let me do it somewhere else. Probability of five random variables. Then how to do this? You can model dependence like this. Let me more clear. And so on. This is what I do. You agree with this thing? Right? So that everything depends on everything. So if we if we go for this, will be something like this. It will be like this. Now we know few things about system variables. We know that we does not depend on A, E, J or anything. We know that. So we know the direction. We know that it depends only in this direction and not the other direction. And we know that burglary does not depend on we know that burglary is an independent event and earthquake is also an independent event. This is what we know. So we know that burglary given anything does not matter. So burglary given everything is equal to probability of B. This is what we know. And what we call this is called we believe that burglary is not dependent on either end variable. So burglary given EAJM equal to probability of B. Similarly, alarm given AJ, so earthquake given AJM. So we know that earthquake is a dependent event and does not depend on this. So this probability of this probability of B. And we know that alarm does not depend on J and M, but it rather depends on B and E. So it's something like this. The probability of A given B comma C and so on. So as Harsh is saying, follow the and will not depend on only that dependence matters. So probability of B into probability of A given B into probability of N into probability of J. Is it still and this is still an these are we what to this kind of between the random variable. That probability network defined this probability. So what we can do with this? So there are two parts, as I said last time. As a machine learning engineer, one task for you is to design such network, to design this dependency between the random variables. In other words, drawing the graph of circles and arrows. There is one task. Second task is to calculate this probability in the probability table or model parameters. And as we discussed last time, and I think by now we also been obvious to guess that these conditional probability tables are calculated from data. Once the data is available, we can read the probability of every event. We can count the probability of every event and calculate this probability. So once this graph and the probabilities are done, we say that the network is trained, and that can be used to answer any inference question. Inference question can be on any of these random variables. Like some would like to know that what are these. So as a user, I observe that John has called, but Mary has not. And I want to know, is it because of the or is it because of the burglary? I can ask this kind of questions, right? Similarly, I came to know that earthquake has happened, but I don't know whether John is called or not. I can ask a question, what is probability of John call given earth is 2? Similarly, I observe that alarm goes off, but I'm not sure whether Mary has called. Then I can ask question, we call given that alarm has gone off. The question can be on any combination of these five variables. And the conditional probability tables that we have created is sufficient enough to answer any of these questions. Let us take one example. One example is we considered. I will show the calculation sum and I will ask you to do for another example. So the scenario is this: John is called, but Mary didn't call. So it is also please note this thing move away from this graph. So please note it down if your problem does that, or you take screenshot also. So keep this with you, note or home screenshot. I will wait for 1 minute and then we'll move to the next. So you see, so now the question is, probability of E given 1 is equal to 1, that J is equal to 1 and M is equal to 0. So this is a pretty standard example all over the internet. Talk more about also, but let's first understand the question. So what is the first step? First step is to want to apply the formula of joint probability to calculate this conditional probability. So there is the formula that we have can put on the left side here. Probability A equal to B is probability of A divided probability of B. Same I have applied here to calculate. So our E equal to 1, if J is equal to 1 and M is equal to 0 is equal to probability of E equal to 1, J equal to 1, M equal to 0. This is the probability of J equal to 1 and M equal to 0. Arif, so any questions? Okay. So first one or two steps are common computation, and one to get of the respect labor. Now let me introduce notation. So as I said, this is a pretty one example available all over the internet, and use different notations. So one convenient notation which we are adopting here is, so we usually write that variable is equal to value. This is how we have, but in case of binary random variables, variables which can take only two values, one and zero, it is convenient to do not write this is equal to zero and one. Rather, we can write tilde, right? As we are doing in digital circuit, we can put a bar on a variable and it becomes negative, or we can put tilde into variable and it becomes negative. And using that sign, so probability of E given J, comma, so it is the same thing. Only thing is too small. So small case means the of the. So small e means capital E is equal to 1. Small j means capital J is equal to a tilde m is equal to capital M is equal to 0. So on right side. Are you clear with the notation? Okay. So that's what we will take. Just I have introduced the notation. So that it will be easy to write. So now once we have this numerator and denominator, what is the next thing we need to do? We need to add the mixture to complete this joint division. We joint distribution is defined over five variables. And in our numerator and denominator, there are only two of them. Two random variables are missing in numerator, three random in the denominator. And how can we bring them in to marginalize it? Exactly. So marginalizing something means putting something in non-care condition. So take out the first case of the thing that you have the complete formula. As we did last time, numerator marginalized both A and B. In denominator, I have marginalized both A, B, and E. I am calling as A in circle, and denominator I am calling circle. And then we can do calculation. So what is mathematical labor? So A is probably, I will not speak everything. I just want you to see, I wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Just see the simplification and ask me if you have questions on this. So is simplification clear? 4 terms in the numerator and 8 terms in the denominator. So in numerator, I have taken all cases of A and B. Not B, not A, not B, A, B, not A, and B, A. And in denominator, including 4 cases of not B, not A, not B, A, B, A, B, not A, and B, A, with E equal to true and with E equal to false, because we are marginalizing over E also. So 8 terms in the denominator. Now what means is 8 terms, and we need to quickly calculate So how do we calculate them? One more step of formula before this. Now you have this joint distribution. How do we calculate this? So we need to make use of this formula. So make this formula for all 8 of these terms. Actually, it looks like 12 terms on the screen, but if you notice, 4 are repeating in A and B. So you need to calculate only 8 terms. So for all 8 terms, you can use this formula and find out the values from the initial probability table. It becomes something like this. Probability of E, J, not M, not A is equal to probability of given not A, probability of not M given not A, probability of not A given not B, probability of not B, and probability of E. Similarly, for the rest of the term. Right now, you will be able to see all 8 systems on the screen. Do you want to zoom so you can also correct or is visible to you? Okay. So now we have the value of the control table. So the next step is to put this into calculation. I have done it for this probability not is very specific. Probability of A given not A is given not A is 0.05. Okay. When you compare not A point probability of not one where very one not A is this one second is the marriage is the probability table. But difference here value for n given not A. But 0 1 is n given. Neha says my voice is breaking up. People can hear me? Okay. Stated the person. You all hear it properly? So, so is it better now, Neha? Okay. Now we are calculating the second term, the last few minutes. Not n given not A. We are calculating not n given not A. The merit n given not A. N given not A is 0.01. So what should be the value of not n given not A? 1 minus 0.01. And this is 0.99. This is 0.99. And I have calculated using the formula of just in case it's not 1 minus probability of n given not A. So this was the second term, probability of m given not n given not A. Now probability of not A given not B. So let us look at this table of A and get the list where B not comma E. So this third row is not B comma E. Follow that. So it is point 29. And since we are looking at property of not A, it is 1 minus point 29 as Keval is right saying. So this 1 minus point 29 which comes out to be 0.71. Similarly, probability of B is so probability of not B is 0.999. And then probability of E want to direct zero zero 9 point probability so multiply this and multiply this by value 0.05 multiplied by 0.99 multiplied by 0.71 multiplied by 0.999 multiplied by 0.002. That's point. That is 0.00002865. Let me write here. 0.0002865. And now do it for rest of the term and give me the final answer here. Okay, so Keval and Harsh has a different answer, I guess, from the one that Rikin has said. They are getting it 0.00007021. Okay. So should we go with majority, Rikin? Preet is also getting this answer. Okay, so I will update that. Oops. Point 721. Now come to the calculation of the second term. Okay, answer for second one. Okay, 10 raised to minus 4. So 0.000 right? What about the third term? Okay. So we can Third is way to like this I follow the of game or five by next one. Next, 425.13 into 10 raised to minus 1. Okay. Four more down and we have an answer. When we have calculated down, has anyone finished calculating the fifth term? Okay, Keval says 6.0493. Okay, the denominator is going to denominate. Six one. So I think only few of you are answering. So for others who are not answering, please ask questions if it is not clear to you that how to calculate. And if you know the process, if you know the formula, if you are just lazy and not doing it, then please do it because these competitions are useful. 6.9, that is 0.00026919. By the time the calculating comes down, then it comes down that okay, seventh and eighth are also done. Seventh term is 2.9641 into 10 raised to minus 6, and eighth term is 2.0.0000. 0 2 5 3 2 9. Okay, I think Abhi also gets the same answer. Rikin also gets the same answer. Good. Now for the denominator. So denominator contains everything of the numerator. And plus the four new terms that we have calculated. Point 0.0493 plus 0.0002691. Plus 2.9641 into 10 raised to minus 6. Plus 0.0002529. So this becomes our denominator. Calculate this and you have the final probability. What is the final answer? Point zero. Okay, A is 2 point something. So A divided by B. Okay, now. So that is point 0.0022718 divided by 0.0501. So that is equal to A 0.0045345. Something like this. So what did we get out of all this? So the question was, what is the probability of earthquake if John has called but Mary didn't? So that probability is very, very low. That is 0.0045345. So it won't be difficult to calculate, but just for the completeness, let me add this also. What is probability of not earthquake given that John has called but Mary didn't call? It would be 1 minus the number that you are seeing about the formula. But if you want to calculate using all the things that we have done, then what change you need here? The change on 1 minus A by B is correct. There is one way of doing it. But if you want to cross check all your computations and all your beliefs, and if you want to recalculate all over again for not E given J, comma not M, then where do you need to change is the A part. So here the A part was the top four terms. In case of if the question is not A, not E, sorry, if the question is not E, then A part will be the bottom four terms, right? So let me put the arrow here. So here for states where it is earthquake, given John and not M, J and not M, the numerator part was A, which is top four terms in this formula that you are seeing on the screen. If we ask question about not E, what is the probability of not seeing an earthquake given that John has called and Mary didn't? So in that case, the numerator part will be the bottom four terms, and denominator remains same. Are you getting the point? Is this clear? Okay. And the answer that you will get would be as Keval has said, 1 minus AB. That is very high probability. So our belief says that if you have got a call, then there are very high chance that there might not be. In case of earthquake, calling both John and Mary has very high probability. So not getting call in case of earthquake has very less probability. This is what we are inferring from this. So I will stop here with this. This was the last lecture before the sessional. I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes if you have any questions. For the first sessional syllabus is naive classifier and Bayesian belief network and inferencing on Bayesian belief network. That will be the syllabus for the first session. Rikin, yes, I will upload this PDF. I will upload all the classroom sketches. And I'm also planning to write notes. So maybe by tomorrow you will also get notes. Okay, Keval has verified the answer. Okay, good. So let's stop here. If there are no other questions, we'll meet again after the sessional, and all the best for the sessional exam.